Bila, how you doing? All right. Okay. Okay. So we spoke before. We spoke like I text you before, and I mean I've been doing a lot of this Bitcoin, uh, and but I mean I have some assets that I work here that not related with crypto. I know we spoke like when I say spoke, I mean like text. We've been talk about like the crypto thing. I it's hardcore. Um, I don't know what is your anxiety level, but can be a little tricky. It's something new. It's growing. It's just like I'm saying, like it's a newborn baby, in my opinion. I mean, it's been going for like the the coin's been going for like a few years already. Uh, Bitcoin's like 2010 or 2011. You know, but I mean, of course, there is some other kind of investments. Right? I'm just gonna give you like no fancy words, more like simple thing for you to understand. One of them is ETFs. All right. I'm gonna talk about that and show it to you. That's a smart way that you can you can do investments if you don't know too much assets, if you don't have too much time. All right. Uh, let's get on it. ETFs. What is and how to use that? All right. This is the words and technical explanation for that. You can read that a portfolio ETF or exchange trade funds, a type of investment fund that holds a collection of assets such as stocks, bonds, or other securities. It's designed to track specific index strategy, like traditional blah blah blah. It may focus on individual sector or asset class. Portfolio ETFs aim to provide diversified investment. Keep that in mind. Option that reflects a broad investment strategy or theme. All right, keep that in mind. All right. There's some key features for this kind of like investment. Liquidity, diversification, transparency, and lower cost. All right. Uh, I'm gonna talk about that later, or we can discuss that in a different video. But you know, I think the way that I'm gonna explain after this is good. If you don't know what it is, it's gonna be more clear. All right. So this is the analogy that I want to give that ETF is like a chocolate box. Okay, so you have like different assets inside that, and later I'm gonna give an example. You're gonna understand. All right. So you have somebody pick up those chocolates for you. All right, and some of them they have 500. Remember the word SCP 500. Some of them they have less, some that they have more. Right. Some of them it's just concentrated in one sector industry. Some of them they have a mix, like some of them they cross over information assets they'll give like dividends with assets from technology and medical industry sector. All right, so you can mix that. All right, the talk going back to the previous. So the diversification, you know, is good in one side because if you don't know what is basically like you have somebody picking up your chocolate box, you don't build that. You're gonna learn that with time. So that being said, uh, ETF is good when you're starting. You don't have a clue what you're doing if you don't do research. All right. So somebody pick up it for you and you can get that. But the bad side of that, about you have like liquidity, transparency, and lower cost. Sometimes not. Sometimes some ETFs they cost like 500 for share, and sometimes some of them cost 25. I'm gonna give an example later too. But let's talk about the bad side. It's good for you to know the bad side. One of the bad side is I'm gonna give you two, and then I'm gonna talk later too. The first one is because somebody take those. So you have like the 10 top ones, and they're like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. It's like, oh, good. But then there's like a bunch of them, like 400 something, that they're smaller, and sometimes you have a few of them that going down at the same time. It brings the whole stock ETF down on the price. All right. If you don't understand the part, we can talk about later. You can ask me questions, and I'll explain this part for you, like the two bad sides, bro. But that you're gonna concentrate on that. I don't like to concentrate on the bad, but and the second one is you have to, and also I'll talk that on the end of the video too. You have to be careful with the crossover, like with the, when you like let's say you build a portfolio with technology and one with the diversification, you know and then you in another one with something else, and all then they have like the 10 most, Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft. So that means you're gonna have a portfolio with three different ETFs, most like focusing on that specific three assets. And then you're gonna, if those three go down, your portfolio is going like percentage is going really down. So it may be a little hard for you to understand now, but as soon as you start to read more and understand more about ETFs, you're gonna understand that, and you have to do some examples, some tests in some investments. Um, my mentor, he always saying like, if you're not ready to lose money, maybe investment is not good for you. Just go get a job. It's nothing bad. There's no good. There's no bad. All right. It's the same thing with cryptos. Like you have to have like really like stomach, because the volatility is so big. It's so like up and down. So like some days like, oh, it's really awesome. Some days really bad. And I'm gonna talk about really, 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 really. All right, so let's continue here. So going back to the chocolate. So inside of that, the chocolate, you're gonna have like 10 good ones, but in the middle, you're gonna may find something that is not that great. You know. So the flexibility on that, because you're not building that whole asset. You don't choose the stocks. So that's how it's good for you when you don't have time to research, or you don't want to deal with somebody to do this. You want to do by yourself. So you take ATF, choose that, read, study about that, and you go and you buy that. All right. So this is the bad side. Sometimes you have some rotten inside that may make your stock ETF going really down. Okay, examples. I I pick like this 7 examples. Right, those are like there was even an article talk about that, like some ETFs of long term. That means like that you can. It's not like crypto that you're gonna do to get money right now. It's something that you get now and you build like in 5, 6 years. You adding and you keep like putting money into that. You keep it looking, keep it moving, and things like this. All right. Again, when you do this kind of, some people they go around like moving stuff all the time. It's like doing daily trading. Daily trade is a different scenario. I never did. I have friends that did. Uh, there's some people saying like that you make a lot with that. Some people saying like no. So there's a lot of talk about that, you know. But that is good for you to 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 understand that. So, uh, I the list is like IVV. That is kind of like mirror the SP 500. With different the biggest industries. VUG, those like some assets inside this ETF that is more like concentrating growth stocks. All right. The VYM is there's some companies that pay high, not high, like pay good dividends. So that's good because, like, say you have like, I'm gonna give an example. This Brazilian company, Petrobras, they pay 13% a year. So if, you know what I mean. If you have like $1,000, that every month you're gonna make like one point something percentage of that. So it's really good. Some of them they have like, and there's a trick here too. More percentage of dividends is, you always, just be careful, because if the company is doing that to increase that, it's kind of like they are like open the legs. I'm sorry to say this. That was a little vulgar to say that, but I mean it's just like, hey, just anybody can come in. It's okay. All right. So be careful with the high percentage too. AGG, investment in bonds. Those are like fix and U.S. treasuries. I'm gonna show that to you. VGT. This is more like investment in technology. There's a lot of technology here. Technology sector. It's like IT companies. Like that's why I can label that. VXUS. Those like provide international exposure. If like you don't want to concentrate your assets and just in US, this you give like companies from different parts of the world, and CHA, that's more concentrated in small company caps. All right. All right. So first example, the one that I said that it tracks the S&P 500, and you're gonna see this here on the next six slides. I mean you have the price, the one share. All right, see that one share there. This is the price of one share. Oh, by the way, I'm using to do this. I use like Robinhood. I'm gonna give a link for you too. You can see that. I'll give below to you. Robinhood is it was a nice start for me. I know some people like use Binance and maybe Robinhood is not allowed in your place where you live. All right. It's like in US you cannot use Binance. It's funny. They try to hold the crypto growth. All right. But Robinhood is a good start. It's a good learning, and I think is I got my kids hooked up with that. It's a good start. Like if you want to learn, if you don't know too much, they're very. You see, the graphics are good. Of course, the candles. It takes some time for you to learn that. All right. But let me go through this here. This you're gonna see this any other one. So like you have like the name of the tick, the name of that. You have like in the Robinhood, you have like the price, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm not gonna get into that to not make this video too long. And then when you go scroll down, you're gonna see this. You have the sectors of this ETF and the top 10 holdings. Okay, the sectors, you see the percentage that they have. So like this one here, there's like 32% of that asset ETF is like in technology industry, and you have like 3.44 in energy, 2.27 real estate so far. Go on. All right, and then when you click on the top 10 hold, it's the ones that they have most percentage. Like Apple, this one is a big crunch of this here is Apple. I have Nvidia, Microsoft. You see, there's some of them you may. This company here is from that guy Warren Buffett. Right. So Alphabet class, you may don't know that is Google. This is Meta. You know that Amazon. You see that. All right. So this is the track, the IVV that kind of like mirror the SP 500. All right, and then you may ask like, okay, so I have this 10 holds in here. What is the rest? Ooh, I think the last slide I'll explain about that. All right. Okay, so this one here that I mentioned before, it's more concentrating growth stocks. But if you see that there's like let's talk about the price. You see, is a little bit lower than this one. In this 50% is in technology. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's like, so technology sector is going down. This ETF is not gonna make that great. Just so you know. And then you have the companies. You see again, Apple. I'm gonna talk about a little bit overlapping later too, really quick. But just to see basically like you have some of them. They have like in the other one, some is not. So we discuss about the overlapping later. uh, dividend paying companies. I give example that Brazilian company that pay like it was paying 13% a year for like your investment. This one costs like $130. All right. Um, so you have the sectors. This is just this one is different. You can see that it's different. Technology is just 12%. All right, and the big one is financial service. All right, and you have the 10. I'm disclaiming here. I'm disclaimer here, like the 10 holdings. All right, so you have Johnson. See that? Johnson. Everybody knows Coca-Cola. Everybody knows. You know J.P. Morgan. You see, there's different like energy, banking, uh, you know, product, service, blah blah blah. All right. AGG investment in bonds. Okay, so this is one of those things. Like now we have this whole story of Fed cutting rates. All right. So when you have a high, we used to have a high rate, but it's not that lower now. All right. So this is more like investments in indexing government bonds, and you see here you can see that on the sectors. Corporate bonds, cash and equivalents, municipality bonds, securitized bonds. So this is it's more like fixed investment. Um, it's a little safer, I believe, for some people. Some people don't like that because you don't have like the percentage of return, like is much less. The mainstream like stock assets or crypto. The crypto is like going crazy, but it can go really bad. This one is more like it's more conservative. You have the cost of that, and the holdings like you see, you have BlackRock, see this United States, United States, United States. So United States is gone. You know, some people say that it's gonna be gone. I don't know, but then this kind of like ETF may go down. So you take your see what do you think is good or not, right? Okay, VGT, investments in, we almost done, investments in technology sector, IT. All right, so DC is technology, so it's 100% sector. So this ETF here, it costs a lot of money, 600. But I just to remind you, this year, you see this amount, I said, dude, I don't have $600, you nuts. Like when you do many of the the place that you can invest, like Webu. I think Binance you can do too, and definitely I know you can do in Robinhood. You can make fraction of that, so you don't buy to have to buy like 600. You can even build like with $10. All right, because this whole portfolio that I'm showing here is almost $2,000. If you buy everything full price, it's almost $1,000 of investment. But you can just choose every single one that you think is okay, and you can put 10 here, 50 there, $2 there, just so you can follow. All right, don't go too crazy. I mean, like I used to make like long, large lists of like put $2 here, and then you start losing concentration, and you don't, you're missing. So try to start small with one or two, three. That's why it's good ETFs. Like you have like a lot of companies, but you have the 10 top ones. You can see what's going on, follow that, you know, and it's a good start. But again, you can fraction this. You don't have to spend like $600. You can buy like $10. You can buy like $100. That would be 1/6 of the value, for example. So most of that is technology. You can see that even the graph show here, and you have the name of the companies. Again, we're gonna talk about overlapping later. The international exposure. All right. You see the cost is not that high on this one here, and then they have like several different sectors: energy, healthcare. The most of them again is financial. All right. The most of that is financial. All right. Yeah. But you see here, you have like a semiconductors, Taiwan, Nordic. This is that as they make that product that people lose weight. I think this one here, AstraZeneca is like is a company from Amsterdam. I don't know, I may confuse you. Can Novartis. This is the one here. It's European, and they make that. They're selling so much those products that people take it and lose weight. So you start to look stuff and you can go for each one. Honestly, also European. And there's other ones here. So that this is just the top one, top ones. This is more like what do you international exposure. They may have some American companies here, but most of them they're like from outside. This is I just add this one here because I was following the article talking about that the seven top ETFs. That was released like this week, and everybody was clicking into that. There then everybody was talking about that. This is more like concentrating the small cap company. The sectors you have like very mixed too here. All right, and this it costs. You see that? It's pretty good. And most of these companies here, you may don't know what it is. I think this is a robotic probably. A firm is like it's a bank that do like it's an app that do like take loans. All right. Primerica is you know no, it's not healthcare. I think it's more like retirement plans and things like this, financial planning. You know, so there's like a lot of companies that we don't know. So it's a little risky, but they add that because it's probably it's companies that promise like if you follow that, it's a good learning curve when you do stuff like this with this. And also like $25, please. All right, overlapping. This is important, because sometimes you go crazy by like you build like a portfolio with 10 different ETFs. All right, and then or you just put. Let's talk different. You make like a portfolio with three different ETFs. Oh, that's enough. I'm gonna do three different ones. I'm gonna use VGT, VYM, and VUG. Okay. So when you do stuff like this, you have to watch for the overlapping because you see this one here have 16% of Apple. This one here have 13% of Apple. All right, this one have 13% of Microsoft. This one has 12% of Microsoft. And then you have like NVIDIA crossing over. And then Broadcom here. And then you have a Broadcom here. See that? So you have to watch because of ETFs is good for you to have. That's why you start slow. If you for you to have, if you don't have knowledge, to have a start, all right, to learn, to read more about. But some people say that is a waste of money. I don't believe so. I did a lot of beginning. I did a lot of ETFs. I still have some of them. SP 500, SP 500 is very popular, and it's an ETF because they have like the 500 top companies in US. So it is an ETF. Some people, no, it is ATF, in my opinion. Sorry, I heard people say like, nah, it's not exactly like that. The gigs, all right. But this is a simple video. We're not going too crazy here. All right. So yeah, be careful with the overlapping. All right. When you do this, you can research more ETFs. All right. There's you can take one of this here, and I'll show to you later. All right, you can see like I want to see what is the other companies. So you go get this here, go Yahoo. I'm gonna show to you later this here. All right, so let me show this. I didn't put this here in a slide, but I'm gonna show to you. Talking about the overlapping. All right, so when you right now I'm looking to the IVV as an example. You can search this information on the web. And then when you get here, you're trying to find the holdings list. Okay, right here. All right. As you see on this IVV, and then we saw that from that snapshot from the Robinhood app. There's a 71% of that ETF, right, is in Apple. 6 something is in NVIDIA, 6 something is in Microsoft, and so on, blah blah blah. Those are the 10 top ones. But then you want to see like who else is that? Who is that? It's just like a minor percentage, but who else is there? And then you start to come over here. You start to see. You see they have like 1.35% in Tesla. There's Mastercard here, like energy, you know, wholesale, Costco. You see, there's a little percentage. So the overlap is more like, you know, you you have like 2 ETFs on your portfolio, all right, and then you put a lot of money, and those 2 ETFs, one then have like 40% in Apple, the other one has 30% in Apple. So on the whole money that you invest, when you start to put together those percentage, you're gonna notice that you know, and let's say they have the same value. I think you know what I mean with that. Then you're gonna start to have like big percentage of that specific portfolio into Apple, even if you have like a large ETF with a lot of diversification. So you have some people they say like, no, I don't mind, I don't care, I can do that. Some people they may think overthinking. It's just there's no really like wrong or right. It's just what you're trying to do. All right. So I mean, if I really want to get into Apple, my case, again, each person's a specific case. If I really want to get into Apple, I'll go and I'll go and I buy Apple. You know what I mean? I expose into that, and that's it. Some people do this, like the big guys. Warren Buffett, one example, he do this. He has like a lot of money in his assets, and actually he sold a lot of that now. But he used to have a lot in Apple, right? Instead, these people they don't do like ETFs because normally they're so good that they build ETFs. They build the chocolate box, right? On this case, somebody built this chocolate box for you, right? And then they put all these pieces here, and you know, like they even show like the 10 biggest. Sometimes this here, you know, and this I'm showing this by holdings. You can go by industry. Oh, here, there you go. All right, industry breakdown. You know, information technology. Look, there's like 32%. Oh, they just invented like a mega computer. Every single company information technology is going down now. So sorry, you just have the ETF. You have like $1 million a year. You're gonna lose like 32%. You know what I mean? So this is the kind of thing is a lot of information reading. You have to be on top of things. You have like spend some like time every day to look into that. So that's part of the par. We can make like a specific video talking just about that, and then there's some experts that can just talk about that. You know, is every person's every person. You have to do the stuff is comfortable for you. The amount of money that you're gonna spend to it has to be is one of those things you're gonna spend. My mentor used to say, you spend what, and I think I mentioned this before, what you're comfortable with. All right. So if I like, I have like whatever, crypto is too volatile, you know, and I was like, oh, I can, I'm not gonna go nuts if I lose $10,000. So just let's go. That's what I'm doing, you know. I mean, like I have like 100,000, and that's it. That's my whole life of savings, $100,000, and I'm gonna put everything in one asset, like Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, some people do that. They make a lot of money. Some people do that and they collapse. So it's up to you.